Azure Gleam. Fanaticism. The year is 1182. 5 moons have passed since the battle at Aryan Road. While the war itself has changed little in this time, Adrestia has undergone a striking transformation. Its rivers run red with the blood of its citizens, who are beset by rampant pillage and slaughter. Dmitri resolves to kill the Emperor, dismantle Adrestia, and put an end to this grim reality.
Is this true, Lady Rhea?
It is. Edelgard told me as much before she left to deal with the upheaval in Enbar. Regent Volkard von Arundel was colluding with Tomas and his fellow knaves. For many years, Lord Arundel was a pious adherent to the Church and its teachings, until one day, his contributions abruptly ceased. Speaking of it now, I realize such a sudden change ought to have raised suspicion.
Just like Tomas, he became an entirely different person almost overnight. We had a similar occurrence in Fargus as well. Do you know of the court mage Cornelia?
The one who cured the plague, yes? So she too.
Indeed. I have reason to believe she conspired with Lord Arundel to murder my father. I had assumed them to be agents of the Empire, striving to sow discord within our lands. Yet, back at Aryan Road, the Emperor herself was assaulted by a dark mage who we can assume is in league with Tomas. Whoever these people are, they clearly have their own objectives in this conflict.
As for the man who appeared, Talus, was it? It seemed as though the Emperor recognized him.
Yes. She also claimed this Talus was the one responsible for my father's death. I find it difficult to take a bitter enemy's assertion as fact. But the pieces do fit.
Sorry, am I interrupting? It's been a while, Dmitri. Rhea?
That it has, Claude. I'm sorry you had to come all the way to Ferdiad for this.
That makes 2 of us. I can think of plenty of better places for a meeting than this chilly old capital of yours. Of course, I'm the one who asked to stop by in the first place. Thanks for seeing me, Dmitri. The Empire's sure been busy lately. An uprising over here, a siege over there. You'd think they'd get tired of causing so much chaos. But now they're looking to cross the Aramid and do the exact same in Alliance territory. I doubt it'll be long before we start getting hit with some serious losses. Which brings me to my point. What say we partner up and use our combined strength to bring the Empire down?
I am grateful to hear such a suggestion, Claude. Hardened as our soldiers may be, even the combined force of the Kingdom and the Knights of Seros pales in comparison to the staggering might of Adrestia.
If we ever hope to take their capital, we'll need to splinter their army between east and west. And, as Enbar lies in the southernmost reaches of the Empire, carving a path to it will not be an easy task.
I could get behind scattering their troops, but they've got a bear of a man in Count Burgley's defending their eastern flank. Passing through Hevring territory in the west won't be smooth sailing either. The Agma Mountains aren't exactly what I'd call welcoming.
All right. Any attempt at head-on assault will leave our forces depleted and exhausted before we even reach the capital.
But hey, you're in luck. I have a plan. A way we can target Enbar without so much hassle. All we have to do is claim one vital stronghold, and their sway in Fodlan will shrink dramatically. Any ideas what it is?
Garreg Mach.
Hey, you really know your stuff, Dmitri.
Garreg Mach is sacred to us. Reclaiming it would provide a significant boost to morale. But how do you propose we strike at such a well-fortified location?
We'll draw the Imperial army out to our respective front lines, then launch a pincer attack on the old monastery from both the east and the west. It's not the fanciest plan in the world, but it's all we've got right now.
Then allow me to suggest an idea of my own. I believe we should approach by way of Aelel. The valley is not closely guarded by the enemy, and its narrow paths negate any numerical advantage they may hold over us. If all three of us dispatch our best warriors, then I am certain we can retake Garreg Mach.
The Valley of Torment, huh? You're a better tactician than I gave you credit for, Rhea. How about this? First, we create a diversion by sending separate forces to the east and west and making it look like we aim for their capital. That'll split their focus. Then, when the time's right, we shift our attention to Garreg Mach, sending an army through the Valley of Torment to reclaim it.
The issue then becomes how to hold our ground on both the eastern and western fronts. The west does not concern me on its own, but we will have Count Burgleys to contend with in the east.
The trick is engaging the enemy as little as possible. And don't worry, I've got a few surprises up my sleeve if we need them.
The Knights of Seros may be few in number, but they are all the more agile for it. They will act separately, providing reinforcements wherever necessary.
Thank you, Lady Rhea. The support is much appreciated.
Tell me, Dimitri, are you gonna stay buddied up with the Central Church once this war is over?
My people still seek their guidance. So long as that is the case, I will continue to offer them shelter.
Meaning what? You'd toss them out on the street if nobody needed them anymore?
I doubt such a day would ever dawn. Territories may change, but people's hearts will always be stubborn things. Even if we started our own church like the Empire has, there's no guarantee our citizens would accept it in any timely manner, or at all. Let me ask you, Claude. How long do you plan to maintain this partnership with the Kingdom?
I hope we can keep this beautiful thing going for many years, long beyond the trouncing we're about to hand the Empire.
That glint in your eye says otherwise. But I'm glad to accept you as an ally, for the time being at least.
Come on, you can't seriously be doubting me already. Learn to trust a little, Dimitri. And speaking of trust, I trust you'll be throwing a big feast tonight to celebrate the occasion. I can't wait to taste that old-fashioned Fargus hospitality.
Hard to believe it's already been 6 months since the siege back at Aryan Road.
Quite. It's no surprise we've been at a standstill, though. Both the Empire and Kingdom suffered heavy losses during the battle. But lucky for us, it seems the ice is finally thawing. Let's hope you've kept your wits as sharp as your blade all this time.
Ah, there you are.
Hey, what are they doing here?
Were you not made aware? Our fine leaders have seen fit to integrate our armies, as we'll be fighting on the same side from here forward. Claude was quite insistent on our joining you on the Western Front.
I just wish it wasn't so cold here. I can feel my muscles tightening up already.
Yes. I had hoped the cold would at least bring a picturesque snowscape with it, but alas.
I'm sorry to say we receive little snowfall in this part of the kingdom. I imagine our winters aren't all too dissimilar from those you experience in Leicester.
So, what would you like us to do?
Well, I guess there are two options. Either you all can stay on the front lines with us, or join the rear guard and help in a more indirect way.
Either is more than acceptable for us, though I should say our preference would be to fight by your side. If we fail to distinguish ourselves here, there will be no end to Claude's sarcastic wit upon our return.
Let's take them at the front with us. That's where we're gonna need the most help.
Agreed. We can discuss further with the others later, but it's safe to assume that is the direction we'll head.
Very well. Allow us to show you what Alliance soldiers are capable of.
Nice of Claude to be sending us back up.
Indeed. It's hard to know what their motivations may be, but we need all the help we can muster.
Your tone's telling a different story, though. What's up?
It's merely that we all have our own reasons for taking part in this fight. Everyone, Claude, Rhea, even us. Each side is watching the other like famished hawks for the slightest hint of foul play.
What? You mean there's more to this thing than just stopping the Empire?
Yes. For my part, I would like to uncover the true nature of this enemy hidden in the shadows of Fodlan. The Church likely wants little beyond the reclamation of Garreg Mach. As for Claude, who can say? Rodrigue should be joining us here in the coming month, after he's finished tying up loose ends in the West. But even as our numbers burgeon, we can't afford to lower our guard. The situation demands constant vigilance.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
Well, how'd it go? Any result's a good result.
Allow me to assist with any matters regarding the facilities. Let me know if I may be of further service.
Time to work you into shape. Can't wait to see how you do. Time to work you into shape.
Can't wait to see how you do.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use. Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. Can't wait to see how you do.
Supplies are the lifeblood of any army. Everything has its use.
Hey there. Need something? See you around.
I carry a little of everything here. You've got an eye for quality, friend. Hope to see you again soon.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat.
Another tool in the belt.
A new me? How momentous!
Have I regained my...
Hey,
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. Can't wait to see how you do.
Hey, Dimitri. Aren't you supposed to be on break today? What's got you down?
It's nothing. I suppose I'm just finding it difficult to relax. It is vexing to no end to lay around doing nothing, while everyone else busies themselves with vital work.
Nobody's forcing you to take vacations or anything. We just want you to have a little break every now and again. Why are you so desperate to work anyway?
Because it is my duty. No. It is the only way I know how to live. As part of the royal bloodline, my life has never for a moment belonged to me. Not even at the instant of my birth. And as a survivor of that horrible tragedy, there are certain responsibilities only I can shoulder.
I get where you're coming from, I think. I felt the same way after my company got wiped out. Still, nothing's gonna go the way you want if you can't bring yourself to trust people who just want to help. And don't even try to tell me you'd be happy with that.
All I want is to ease the pain, both for those who perished that day and for those who yet live. I'm fully aware that I will need to make sacrifices if I ever hope to accomplish that goal. But I will not drag others into my own personal crusade. I won't let anyone else suffer. So, you see, it's better for me to carry the burden myself. And better for everyone else as well.
You say you don't want to see people suffer. But what about you, Dimitri? What about your pain? You don't have a hope in the world of caring for other people if you can't care for yourself first.
I'm not sure how to respond to that. And in truth, I don't know how to alleviate my own pain. I've never given the matter any thought. What would happiness even look like for me?
How can you not know something like that? Just think about it. What kind of things make you smile? Maybe when you finally conquer a tough rival? Or hold a banquet after surviving a dangerous battle?
I don't believe I bear the right to such happiness, but if that time were to come, it would be upon my death, having devoted my life to forming a peaceful kingdom full of joyful citizens.
Seriously? You can be downright dismal sometimes, you know that? Why is death the first thing that comes to mind when you think about being happy?
Dismal? Yes, perhaps you're right. But I find it difficult to consider anything else that may cause me joy.
Come on, nothing? What about ending this war quick and celebrating with all your friends? I'm sure Dedu and the others would whip up the grandest feast you've ever laid eyes on.
No, such revelry would be wasted on me. But I suppose seeing the smiles on everyone's faces would be enough.
Thanks for thinking of us, oh great king. But fine, if you want to carry your own burdens for the rest of your life, so be it. We'll just have to take extra good care of you, though, since you clearly won't do it yourself. For starters, you're gonna take a break, and by the goddess, you're gonna like it. Come on, Dimitri. We're gonna get you away from camp for a bit.
No words can express my gratitude.
Did you, sir? We'd like to hear your opinion on the matter we discussed earlier.
Regarding Count Karen, as I discussed with Gustav,
Looks like things are finally changing, Dedu. They've really started warming up to you, huh?
they have. That soldier I was speaking to lost his mother in Dusker. She was a knight of the kingdom. Naturally, his feelings toward me were complicated. We argued many times.
You arguing? Can't imagine what that looks like.
I thought it better than just letting him hurl abuse at me. Such a reaction was surprising for me as well. But now we have fought together, worried together, faced death together. I have shown him what I'm capable of, and he has come to trust me in turn.
Nice. Sounds like you really earned his respect then. Congrats, Dedue.
Strange. Why are you so happy for me?
Because we're friends. And friends are happy for each other when good stuff happens to them.
Are they?
Anyway, now you've just got to keep it going and get even more people to trust you. Same goes for me. And Dimitri while we're at it.
You're right.
In the meantime, I'm gonna keep winning battles until I prove myself to you once and for all. So make sure you keep an eye on me out there, Dedue, because I'm gonna be the most valuable fighter we've got. What? What's so funny?
Nothing. I look forward to your performance. But you already have my trust, no matter your origin or identity.
Really? You never know when I might betray you and turn my sword on Dimitri, though. Not to mention this weird power I have. Can you seriously say you trust me with that in mind?
Your power is concerning, but it does not define you. I'm sure you would not so easily betray His Majesty or myself. But know that if you do, I will cut you down without hesitation. That's who I am. You must understand by now.
Weird way to tell me you trust me, but it's got Dedue written all over it. I'm honored.
What's wrong? Your footwork is even sloppier than usual.
You noticed that, huh? It's nothing. There's just been a lot on my mind lately is all. And I was kinda lost in thought when you lunged at me, so I couldn't really react too well.
Training isn't the time for idle contemplation. You're worthless as a sparring partner if you let your mind wander. Not to mention that you do the same thing in actual battles. Getting distracted when you're training is one thing. Do it out there, and the enemy will cut you down without hesitation. We've been through this before. If there's something on your mind, just come out with it already.
I was just thinking you have a pretty good read on me now, too.
It was obvious something was wrong from the way you were fighting. And this is just payback for last time, so no complaining.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not.
If you say so. There's still something I don't understand, though. Where did you learn to fight like that? You clearly don't move like a knight, but I've never seen a mercenary use those techniques either.
I guess you could say I taught myself. I didn't really have one teacher who showed me everything. If anything, I just kind of picked stuff up as I moved from one band of mercs to the next.
That explains it. I was wondering why your style was so hard to read. Both knights and mercenaries use a standard set of battle-tested tactics, a book they all play by. But you're not bound to any single convention. I suppose that's what I found strange.
Probably doesn't help that I don't have to draw my sword like everyone else. When I think about it like that, it might have been for the best that I taught myself instead of subscribing to a particular school of thought.
A unique style all your own. Fascinating. Teach me.
I'd be glad to, but I'm the only one who can use my sword. It won't be easy to replicate.
That's for me to decide. If nothing else, I can adapt your moves for my own purposes. The more styles I know, the better.
If you say so. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'll do what I can. Oh, and you can teach me in exchange. The more styles, the better, right? You fight sorta like a knight, but also sorta not. I mean that in a good way, of course. I'm not sure how to put it. It's almost like you react to the situation as it plays out. So, yeah. If we can combine our two styles somehow, I bet we'll both end up stronger for it.
Maybe so.
It's been a while since we sent that letter, but we still haven't received a response.
Yeah. We know the village chief got it, though. And we know he read it. The soldier who delivered it confirmed as much.
But he never wrote back. I wonder why.
Hard to say. Maybe he just doesn't want to get involved. Or maybe he doesn't remember us. Part of me almost wonders if my mom didn't make him promise not to tell me anything. Not that I have any proof she'd do that. It's too bad, you know? We should probably assume we're never getting a response and just leave it at that. And we don't have any other leads either, so there's not much point holding out hope. I mean, yeah, I want to know more about my mom, but it's not the end of the world if I can't. You had to give up learning about your parents too, right?
I did, but...
No matter what kind of past my mom had, she'll always be my mom, and I'll always be me. I know that she put every bit of herself into raising me, and that's what matters. There's nothing more important than that in my book.
You're right. Whatever your parents did before they had you, and wherever they are now, they'll always be your parents.
Glad you understand. And hey, not knowing the truth lets me make up all sorts of stories about her in my head.
Oh, you mean like imagining she was actually a high-ranking noble, forced into obscurity?
Not a bad idea, but not totally original either. I was thinking more along the lines of a legendary knight, known throughout every inch of Fodlan. Or maybe a mysterious adventurer who came from somewhere far beyond its borders.
That would be incredible if it were true, and it would certainly explain why she was so knowledgeable. Still, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the end.
It's all good, Ash. Without you, I never would have spent all this time thinking about my mom and who she really was. So even though we came up empty-handed, I'd say the journey itself was entirely worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I should probably get going. Just remembered I've got a huge to-do list and not nearly enough time to do it. See ya!
Huh? I could have sworn I saw the commander here a moment ago.
Oh, you just missed them. I can take a message if you want, though.
In that case, please deliver this letter.
day's training was rough. Guess I need to start working even harder if I want to keep up.
You know, it's incredible just how into all this you are. But I do feel kind of bad for you.
Why? It's my own fault for not being up to snuff. Just you watch, Sylvain. I'm gonna stand head and shoulders above everyone else in the next battle.
That's not what I mean. I feel bad that we roped you into this war. The only reason any of us are fighting is to keep our homes from being destroyed. If we fail, we'll lose everything. Our houses, our families, the places we grew up. But you don't have that kind of personal stake in this thing. You can live wherever the wind takes you.
True. I am a bit of a nomad.
Isn't there anywhere you call home, though?
Well, sorta. I grew up in a remote village off in the mountains, so that's probably the closest thing. But it's hard to really say for sure. Honestly, I doubt I'll ever understand what it means to have a home like all of you do.
So what? Are you just in this for the money, then?
If I'm getting paid for a job, then I'll do whatever it takes to see it through to the end. And of course, I want to keep my friends safe too.
A very you answer if I've ever heard one. Not that that's a bad thing.
Really, I think this is the closest thing to a home I've ever had. Because I've got all of you here.
Are you sure? This place doesn't make for quality living, trust me. I mean, it's cold, it's desolate, and there's nowhere to go to have any fun. Plus, we've constantly got enemies like Srang soldiers coming at us from every angle.
Well, I can't deny that. But it's still important to you anyway, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And it's our job to make it a place where everyone can live in peace.
Right. Who knows what'll happen after the war. But for now, I'm with you guys every step of the way.
I appreciate it. Oh, yeah, and about those plans for the fire orb I showed you? Would you mind helping me with a little experiment later? The thing hardly had any punch to it when I tested it.
Sure. Sounds like it's a long way off still, huh?
Hey, I'm trying here. I even got in touch with the School of Sorcery to see if they could help.
No rush, Sylvain. I'm sure you'll finish it one of these days. I've spent enough time with you to know. You can do anything when you put your mind to it.
Oh, this one is really pulling the line.
It must be our monster. Time to put what you practiced into action.
Yes, I am no longer the clumsy novice you slipped away from before, foul fish! It's not working! What do I do?
Don't give up. Play your line out a little, and let the fish tire itself out.
Like... this?
Yeah, that's good. Now wait. Wait. Now! Pull as hard as you can! Flame! Look out!
We did it, Ash! Oh, I can scarce believe I managed to capture the beast!
Yeah, that was close. I thought the fish was going to catch you there for a second.
Yes, I might have gotten a bit carried away there. Had you not grabbed my arm when you did, I might be swimming in the river myself.
I'm glad I could help. Seriously glad. And hey, I'm amazed you managed to hang on to the pole through all that.
I told myself I would not let go, no matter what.
Hold on there, Flame. You have to let go sometimes. None of this is worth putting yourself in danger over. I think I'm starting to see why Sedith doesn't let you go fishing. Still, you never would have caught that fish without that fierce determination of yours.
Mother taught me to always see tasks through to the very end. But even she never fished up anything so large as this. And though she is no longer around, I would like to think she would be very proud of me.
So that's why you're so interested in fishing. Well, I think this was great, and I'm sure your mother would be proud.
Goodness, you do know how to compliment a lady. Still, I promise to surrender my pole if I ever find myself in this kind of situation again.
Well then, why don't we haul this thing back?
Yes, and then we can feast on the spoils of our victory. I wonder what it tastes like. I can't wait to find out. But, I cannot even fathom how best to prepare such a fish. We could slice it up and fry it, or boil it with vegetables, or... there are so many choices!
This has been so much fun. Flame really reminds me of my sister. She was always so eager to practice in the kitchen when she was little, too. Hold on. Flame, in a kitchen... Hey! Wait up! Let me help you!
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, but I swear I will avenge you. Please, just wait a little longer. I will uncover who drove you to your deaths, no matter the cost.
Dimitri.
Glenn... Oh, Felix. It's you. I'm sorry you had to see that.
After 20 years, I've seen all of you there is to see. Everyone else is asleep. You know that, right? So why are you locked up here in the chapel? Also, what's with the mumbling?
I suppose there's little sense in hiding it from you. I suffer from a kind of waking dream. I see them. I see the people who died on that day, at all hours, light and dark. If the Empire was involved in that incident, if the Emperor stood by and gave tacit consent, then give to them the same end. Gouge out their hearts and cleave their heads from their shoulders. Those are the words the dead scream at me.
When did this start?
It's been 6 years. But I began hearing their voices 4 years ago, during my first battle. I recognized the enemy general as a man I had seen in Dusker. When I removed his head, the voices cheered. They laughed. It was as if a terrible pain had finally been lifted from them.
I think I get what's happening here. Look, do you really think your father and Glenn and everyone else would be torturing you like that? You're the one who's doing this, Dimitri, not them. You.
Even if that were true, I can never forgive myself.
Believe me, I know. But it's your job to lead. If you lose your path, you'll take everyone else down with you. So try to keep that whole removing their heads thing in check, yeah? We can just call it our little secret.
Well then, are you offering to let me unburden my heart to you when the time calls for it? You're the only reason I haven't descended into utter savagery, you know. So just as Lug had Kaifon, and my father had Rodrigue, I would ask that you continue to be my right-hand man.
Right-hand man, huh? I like the sound of that.
What are you doing?
As your new right-hand man, my first act is to haul my restless king back to bed where he belongs.
This is absurd. My feet are dragging on the floor.
It's your own fault for being so tall, you sack of muscle.
Say, do you remember how I once carried you in this way when you twisted your ankle?
Yeah, turns out lugging folks around is good training. So just cram it and let me finish my workout already.
Yes, of course. Please, carry on.
What's wrong, Ingrid? You look troubled.
Oh no, it is nothing. Don't worry about it.
It has to be something if you're just standing there staring off into space. You can always talk to me, you know. It might not be much help, but...
It's this land. It is so fertile. I cannot help but be amazed.
It is an unusually bountiful region for Farkas, and a beautiful one at that. It doesn't have nearly as much snow as the north, and multiple rivers flow through it. I could scarce take my eyes off of that wheat field we passed earlier.
My home does not have anything as lovely as that. It's nothing but a barren, rocky wasteland, and the soil we do have is so poor even the weeds disdain it. We have tilled the ground, removed rocks, and sowed seeds in hopes that our descendants might one day benefit, but... Mom, who knows how long it would take for us to have large, fruitful fields like the ones here.
Our blood, sweat, and tears will drench the land, serving as nourishment for those who come long after. You may not accomplish it in your lifetime, but the effort will definitely pay off down the road. Or, that's what I think, at least.
Those are the words of King Lug, yes? From Lug and the Maiden of Wind. That is one of my favorites.
Yeah, hearing you talk about your homeland actually reminded me of another part. At one point, it uses the phrase, barren as the land of Dagda. I'm sure it's just some term the poets created long after Lug, but it got me curious. So I went and tracked down a travel journal about Dagda.
I haven't read many travel journals. What did it say?
It spoke of a crop that grew easily, even in their infertile soil. Apparently it's really filling and tastes amazing when boiled or baked.
It sounds too good to be true. Like a crop out of a fairy tale. My homeland would greatly benefit from cultivating a plant like that.
I can't say for certain if it'll actually grow there, but it's probably worth looking into. And if there's any way I can help, just say the word.
I am sure a royal knight has better things to do than worry about the problems of House Galatea.
This isn't about my station. I'm just a pal lending a hand. Besides, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to go hungry. No one should ever have to experience that.
Thank you, Ash. In that case, our first task is to look deeper into this miracle crop of yours.
I wish we could wait until this war is over, but that would take too long. I want to learn all I can about it as soon as possible. This is so exciting.
Agreed. Now we just have to survive long enough to uncover its secrets.
Your Majesty, you will take ill if you keep sleeping at your desk.
Do? Oh, I've done it again. Yes, well, thank you for waking me and sparing my poor neck any further damage.
You sounded pained. Is everything all right?
Dreaming of the past again, I fear.
The tragedy?
No. The day I returned to the capital afterward. Do you remember the child who cursed me after my father's funeral?
Ah, yes. I believe he was the son of a knight who fell in Beskar.
He was furious that I would not take revenge on your people, and even more enraged to see you serving as my vassal. He berated me without mercy, demanding I kill you then and there. All I could do was walk away. Everyone desires revenge for that day. Survivors and the dead alike cry out for retribution.
I know, Your Majesty.
I seek to fulfill the duty they have given me, and have never once flinched from it. And yet, to do. If I were mortally wounded and begged with my dying breath for you to avenge me, what would you do?
I would do it, even at the cost of my life.
And if I told you to forget me, and live for your own happiness?
I would regretfully decline. I cannot know happiness without you by my side. I would still seek vengeance, just for my own sake, not yours.
Interesting. And nothing I say to the contrary will change your mind?
Your Majesty, can you not live for your own sake?
My life is not my own. It belongs to my kingdom, my people, and the dead. But had I been born to a different fate, well, perhaps I would have traveled outside Foland with you as a mercenary. Or perhaps I'd be a farmer. I confess the thought does sound rather delightful.
Surely you could still tread those paths.
It was a jest to do. I merely said the first thing that came to mind. I am driven by matters on which I cannot permit myself to yield. I hope you understand that.
Well then, all the more reason to get some proper rest. If work remains, I will aid you. If you have difficulty sleeping, I will lend you my ear. But seeing you slumped over at your desk disturbs me. Every time, I fear death has come for you in the night.
Death will never sneak up on me as long as I remain under your watchful attention.
Your Majesty, please.
Though, if I were to die and leave you alone, the aftermath would be horrendous. I suppose I will heed your advice. Just this once.
Thank you, Your Majesty.